Hey guys, I thought I would turn on the camera and have you join me getting ready this morning. As you can tell, I'm a fresh face. I just had my skincare regimen done this morning and some moisturizer and stuff. But I have no idea what I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to stick with as much drugstore stuff as possible. I know there's some things that I don't have true drugstore stuff, but we'll see. We'll see how much I can do. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by pulling my hair up because it gets in the way. So let's see. I'm also going to try for the first time to do as much of a talk through video as possible. We'll see how time warrants, but let's see. Okay. I'm gonna do my eyes first, but because some of the drugstore shadows I have quite a bit of fallout, so let's see. Alrighty. So I don't have a drugstore eye primer, so what I'm gonna do is, and this is probably frowned upon, so don't yell at me, but I'm just gonna use my face primer. And then I am going to actually take a little, because I'm really veiny, I have found that it helps me to use a little bit of foundation on top, because otherwise it just doesn't look good. I don't like the way it looks on my eyes. Oh, and I just used my Outlast 3-in-1, which is probably the foundation I'll use as well. Alrighty, so then I'm going to use my NYX pencil in Yogurt. These jumbo eye pencils were all the rave for a while, and now no one seems to be using them. Still have a few of them in my arsenal. Okay, so I'm probably going to use most of the colors out of the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I will probably stick with this side. And then there's some other Wet n Wild palettes that I'm going to incorporate. The one thing that I use with every eye look, no matter what, is I love this Ulta eyeshadow in All Natural. It's a good pink blending color. And I like to put it up above my lid, and it just helps everything blend a little easier. I also like it as a finishing touch when I'm done with my eye look. To kind of blend out the edges of where like the color ends. It just makes it look better in my opinion. But I'm going to start with this color and I'm going to put it all over the lid. I'm gonna use these two colors to kind of define my outer V. So I'm just working with this one right now. So now we're gonna go back in with this bottom one And I'm just using the same brush. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to that first shade and just kind of make sure the center of the eye is still defined. I'm gonna grab my Maybelline The Nudes palette, and I'm just gonna go in with this brown and a big fluffy blending brush, and I'm just gonna kind of blend out the outer part of this and try to lighten it up a little bit. I'm gonna grab, I love these Olay Fresh Effects Everything Off removers. They're great. So I'm just gonna grab one of those and clean up any of the fallout I have, which I can see I have a little. So we're just gonna use the Rimmel Fix and Perfect and primer. So now, with my damp Real Technique sponge, I'm actually going to mix together the Outlast 3-in-1 in 810 and the L'Oreal True Match Lumi in Neutral Soft Ivory. Actually, it's got two names, Soft Ivory, Classic Ivory. So for concealer, I'm going to use the, I believe it's Maybelline Master Conceal by Face Studio. This stuff is awesome. Alrighty, so then I'm just gonna go in with my Real Technique sponge and a brush in some spots and just, this has seen better days, but it's the only true drugstore foundation or press powder I have. It's the Revlon Nearly Naked press powder in 010 and Fair. So I'm just gonna take my Real Technique sponge and get some product on it. This is one thing I like about this sponge, is the flat end. I love for setting my concealer and foundation because you can just, the pressing sets it into the skin, and it's just, I had a really hard time with creasing under my eyes and getting my foundation to stay on my nose. And this trick really helped. So I just kind of take my problem areas and press this in. And then I'll take a big fluffy brush, which this is a Sigma one. And I just kind of go all over, but then I go back. And this helps avoid, you know, when sometimes you'll put powder on and it kind of like is sitting on your skin, and we all have that hair on our face and you can see it. If you go back with a sponge and kind of press it in, you won't get that. It's awesome. Now for some bronzer, because my face is white. I do kind of a combination. I have, and they're both the same product, they're just in different shades. So they're both the NYX matte bronzer, but one is in light and one is in medium. And I take these and I kind of contour and highlight combination. The faces we make when doing makeup. I'm sure it's attractive. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go back to my eyes really quick and deal with the inner corner and do a little blending where my foundation kind of messed it up. So surprise, surprise, I'm gonna go back in with my Ulta All Natural. If you haven't tried the single Ulta shadows, I highly recommend it. There isn't one that I've tried that I haven't liked. So now I'm going to go in with another Wet n Wild palette, Sweet as Candy, and this top color we're going to highlight with. Just the inner corner. It's could be a bit much everywhere. So now that we've finished the eye, I'm gonna, jumping around all over the place, we're going to finish my cheeks, and we're gonna get a little brave with our, doesn't that look intense? It's e.l.f.'s Pink Passion, I think, but boy, that's a very little sticker. And like with most e.l.f. products, it carries a punch, so we're gonna be gentle with it. Isn't that just so pretty? Adds so much color. Okay, so this is the one spot where I just don't have a drugstore version of. So I'm just gonna go with my favorite. I'm gonna jump into the Becca Hill palette. I'm just gonna grab Champagne Pop, which everybody can get a hold of. It's part of their regular line, and it's this one right here. I know this palette is limited edition, but if you don't have Champagne Pop in your collection, I sound like every other person that makes beauty videos on YouTube. You gotta go get it. We're just gonna highlight. It's just so dang pretty. I'm going to grab my handy dandy Revlon Color Stay. This is just, if they were ever discontinue this eyeliner, I would be sad. And so I'm actually going to do a bit of a wing line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at I'm going to put it at the corner of my eye, and then I'm just going to slowly flick up towards my eyebrows. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab my Maybelline Line Stiletto, which is the perfect beginner liquid eyeliner. if you haven't tried it, I would suggest starting with this one. And we're going to do that V. And then we're also going to run it down the eyelash. Alrighty, time for mascara. And I'm going to use the L'Oreal and the Almay Get Up and Grow. Now on to eyebrows, and this is unfortunately another one where I just don't have drugstore. I'm sticking with my Mary Kay brow gel and my Anastasia brow powder. It works, and I just haven't found drugstore that I like better. Alrighty. On to hair. Alrighty, so lip color. What are we gonna do? Let's do a little bit of a combo. Oh, and this one I'm using is NYX Nutmeg. Then I'm going to go in with Jordana in Cabernet, and we're going to give it some. Okay, and then we're going to top it off with the Meet Matte Hues Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in Committed. I love this color. You can really change the color of it depending on what you pair it with too. And there we go. Voila! Thanks for getting ready with me, guys.